and welcome to 50 Movies in 50 Weeks. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this 50 movie box set from Mill Creek in 50 Weeks. The movie I watched today was called Alien Zone from the year 1978. This movie is also called House of the Dead, which is a better title because Alien Zone makes it sound like a sci-fi movie. It is not. It is a horror movie. More specifically, it is a horror anthology movie. Less like Creepshow, more like the British Tales from the Crypt movie. A few of you out there that would know that reference will fully understand what I'm talking about. It's a very dry anthology movie, very inconsistent anthology movie. There are two, I don't want to say excellent, there are two really good segments in this, and there are two of them that are pretty bad. The framing of the anthology goes, this guy who is having an affair with someone else's wife is driving, and he stops by a morgue because his car had a flat or something, I can't remember. And he goes into the morgue, and the mortician is like giving him stories about the different coffins, the different bodies in the coffins. Think John Carpenter's Body Bags, but not as good. Like you know when you're a kid and you see McDonald's and you go, oh, can we go to McDonald's? And your parents go, we have McDonald's at home. And what they mean by that is they have bologna sandwiches at home. This is, we got John Carpenter's Body Bags at home. There are two decent stories in it, and I'm going to talk more about those in a minute. But I want to talk about the bad ones first so we can end on a high note. The very first story starts off kind of interesting. It's about a woman alone in a house, and there's like shadows moving around. She thinks there's someone in the house, but instead of like running out of the house, she just starts locking all the doors and windows, enclosing her in this space that might have a killer in it. And then it's revealed to be a bunch of children, and they have all this like crappy effects all over the screen, like shaky effects, and like the kids have sharp teeth. And you can barely see what's going on in the movie anyways because it's such a terrible print. And they're adding all this like horrible wavy effects on the screen. It looks horrible. This movie is available in high definition. Of course I didn't watch it in high definition because I'm going off of this box set. But I could barely see anything the entire time. So this criticism will not be for the HD version, but you know, I'm reviewing this set. The other story that was subpar involved a guy who he's rude to a homeless person who's asking for help. And then he walks into a building and falls down an elevator shaft. And there's like a torture chamber underneath this building. There's like walls with spikes that are going to crush him. And he finally escapes this place, and he's bloody and battered. And he runs up to a guy begging for help, and what he did to the homeless person before happens to him. He goes, "Get away from me." And then the story ends there. And all these stories end with people dying, right? Not this one. He survives. And the mortician goes, he lived, but eventually he died. And it makes me wonder, like, was this like a short film that you shoehorned into this movie? Like, why? Why even include, like, he should have died at the end? That's the theme of this movie, right? So those are the two subpar episodes of this anthology. The best two are, they don't have titles, but one of them is kind of like a found footage piece. They introduce it as like, this is some creep with a camera. And it kind of reminds me of that movie Creep, which is about a creep with a camera. It's found footage. This guy sets up a camera in his house, and he keeps luring women into his house, and he murders them. And this is all intercut with footage of the news following him as he goes to prison. And they eventually catch him. It's done very creatively because it is done in like a found footage style, which I'm not sure how popular that wasn't popular at all, but like, that wasn't a common thing back then, so it was interesting seeing a found footage type story from the 70s. I think the closest thing we have to that is like Cannibal Holocaust, which is an Italian movie which has a framing device that's just people watching the footage. So slightly different. This felt very much like a found footage movie. And then when it cuts back to the wraparound story, the guy, the creep in the story is obsessed with catching everything on video, catching everything on camera. And when he goes to be electrocuted, to be killed in the electric chair, the mortician says no cameras were allowed at his funeral or at his execution. And I thought that was a fun little note. It felt very Tales from the Crypt. I liked this one. That one was fun, despite the fact that the picture quality was terrible, which easily could be remedied by getting the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray or watching it on Tubi or whatever. It was a highlight of the movie. My favorite story of this anthology involved two competing detectives, an American detective and a British detective. And the American detective is, I don't want to say he is a parody or a copy of Columbo, but he is definitely channeling the Columbo energy. And it was a highlight of the movie for me. I love cop procedurals. I like Columbo, I like Monk and Psych and like all those kind of shows. So this one really caught my attention. It also kind of reminded me of an episode of the Ray Bradbury Theater about a guy who gets off on a train and he meets a man. It's I can't remember what the episode's called, but it's got Jeff Goldblum in it. And he meets this guy and they talk about serial killers. And it's alleged at the end that they're both serial killers and they're all both planning to kill each other. It has a very similar energy to it. It's like the way they're playing off one another, the British detective and the American detective. And it was just a joy to watch these two guys go at each other and criticize and backhand compliment each other. It was a lot of fun. I can't think of like a specific British detective he reminded me of. The American one was clearly Columbo. The British detective he sets up a mystery for the American detective to solve. And what it is he's trying to solve his own murder. But he doesn't realize it. But the thing is, the American detective was a step ahead. And the British detective was also a step ahead of him. So they end up killing each other in the end. And it's a lot of fun. It does feel very Tales from the Crypt as well. But I had a blast with that one. I really, really enjoyed it. The whole experience maybe was worth it just for those two episodes I just told you about, the creep with the camera and the battling detectives. Wrap around of the story ends with the last coffin. It opens it up, it's empty, and he goes, "Whose coffin is this?" And he goes, "This one's yours because you were cheating with another man's wife." And he runs out and he gets killed by the woman's husband, and then the mortician is like there in the ambulance, like ready to take him back to his mortuary. It was fun, even though I didn't like every single one and the picture quality was awful. I had a lot of fun with this one. It was entertaining, and what else can you ask for from a movie other than to be entertaining? I can't speak today. I'm sorry, but. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Remember, please be kind and rewind.